Hello, and welcome to the summer session of 2023. I had to think about that for a second. Yeah, summer 2023. So this is CJU 286, Murderers, Serial Masses Free. I'm a little biased, but I think it's going to be a pretty exciting class. Uh, this video here is not going to be a content lecture video. This is going to be more of a housekeeping video. I just want to kind of go over some first day uh, expectations, what you can expect, the things that I expect from you in class, how how long it's going to take for me to get things graded, what types of styles and formats we're going to use, things like that. So let me just kick it off by due dates. I think that's probably one of the more important things. Our due dates are, if you've had my classes in person in the past, it's going to be the same as always. If you haven't, then it may be new to you, but everything that I assign is due on Sunday night. Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So I also don't accept, in general, I don't accept late assignments. So there's always exceptions, there's always emergencies, but it is amazing how many computers crash on Saturday night and Sunday night, how many family emergencies happen on Saturday night and Sunday night, and I just want to give you a heads up now. Uh, in general, I don't accept late assignments. If you anticipate some sort of emergency happening, if you're going to be taking a trip on Friday and Saturday, you're going to be busy on the weekend, there's nothing stopping you from doing the assignment on Tuesday or Monday or Wednesday. When you wait until Saturday, you wait until Sunday, and then suddenly the ever present computer crashes that seem to always happen on Sunday nights occur. I'm not going to have that much sympathy when you had all week to do that assignment. So just keep that in mind. We got a whole week to do these. Let's talk about those assignments we'll have. This is not going to be a super heavy assignment or laborious class. Uh, in general, what we'll have is every week we will have a discussion board post. I'm going to get into the nitty gritty of that in a second, but essentially you'll have to give a response to the prompt once a week, and then respond to two of your classmates by the end of the week. So you're on top of that, you'll have usually a weekly assignment on top of that. Not every week. We will not have any exams. We'll not have any quizzes. There'll be no midterm, no final. So just what we described there. So the weekly assignments, again, if you've had my classes, should be fairly familiar, but I'll review them now. We probably rotate between a paper, a PowerPoint presentation, and a video presentation. The video presentations and the PowerPoint presentations will not be presented to your classmates. They'll be just presented to me. But that being said, there's some minutia that we need to go over on each one of those types of assignments. And again, there may not be a weekly assignment every week, but there will be a discussion board post every week. Let me start off with papers. Papers will have a prompt and a minimum page length. We use in the criminal justice program, we use APA 7. So if you do not have access to the APA 7 manual, then I suggest you go onto the Purdue OWL website. That's probably the next best thing to the manual, and they will give you all the rules of APA 7, whether it be font, formatting, margins, title page. I know some folks I've had in the last couple semesters just do not look at the feedback I give. So I encourage you, as I grade the papers, look at the feedback. I'll have folks that will use the wrong font on the title page, and every single week I'm writing the exact same comment. Hey, use consistent font. Hey, use consistent font. So if you see feedback, take a look at it, adhere to it. Know that APA 7 has very strict rules when it comes to using a title page, where your title goes, what information goes on the title page. APA 7 does not use your name in the numbered pages, so I get that a lot. I'll get Smith 2, Smith 3, Smith 4. We don't use that in APA 7. I think that might be an MLA or a Harvard or a Chicago style. I'm not sure exactly where that comes from, but APA doesn't do that. So if you're used to doing that, make sure you adhere to the APA 7 rules, which include things like you don't use first person in academic writing. You don't say, I did this, or I believe that this is going on. Usually, in replace of that, we use something along the lines of, Instead of saying when I go to the store or when you go to the store, we also put on the second person. We wouldn't say when he goes to the store. We say when one goes to the store. That's a good example. Secondarily, when it comes to quoting material, most of my papers are fairly short. So a good rule of thumb is that if you have more than 40 words in a quote, that is too long. For one, it's a different format. In APA 7, when you use more than 40 words in a quote, you're supposed to use a block formatted quote, which means your margins are indented just for that quote. If you have to adhere to that format, your quote is too long, because I'm only assigning papers that are like 2-3 pages long. So if you're using more than 40 words in a paper that short, then that's just far too much. I want to hear from you. I want you to write the paper, not quote somebody else. Short quotes are fine to prove your point. And what I will transition to right now is exactly that, citation. So what I want is for you to write the paper on the prompt and then use citations and references to prove your point. I don't want you to use citations and references to write the paper for you. I don't want you using 40, 50, 60, 70 word quotes. And essentially, you've had somebody else write your paper at that point. You write the paper and just use somebody else's research to prove your point. Every paper, for the most part, is going to have a minimum number of references and citations. Just bear in mind that APA requires a separate citation page, and again, a separate title page, and neither one of those pages count towards your page length. So if you're assigned a 2-page paper, essentially you have to have a minimum of 4 pages, 2 pages of content, a title page, and a reference page. Every reference that is on your reference page, first of all, should be titled reference. It shouldn't be titled my citations or where I got my material. APA has very strict format. Make sure you take a look at that. Your reference page should be formatted in APA, which means using hanging indents. It means italicizing when necessary, things like that. So make sure you're following that format, and make sure that every reference you have on your reference page has a citation, an in-text citation in the paper. So if you're saying that Bell 2023 said XYZ, then Bell needs to be in the reference page. Let's see. Usually I will require one academic reference in papers. The rest could be websites or media from newspapers, things like that. But one has to be an academic source. You can usually find those on Google Scholar. It has to be a scientific journal, but that will be identified. The requirements will be identified in the syllabus and the prompt itself. Bear in mind that Wikipedia is not an acceptable source, and you can cite a lecture. So most weeks I should have a video lecture for you, and you can cite that lecture. Just again, go to Purdue OWL or the APA 7 manual if you purchased it, and look up how to cite a lecture, how to cite a YouTube video, something like that. YouTube doesn't get credit. If I create a lecture, that's my content, so Bell, Steven should be getting the credit, the citation, not YouTube.com. Let me see. I'm just taking a quick peek at my notes here. Papers. The last thing about papers, they have to be submitted in Microsoft Word. Do not submit links to them. Do not give me a link to your cloud file. That doesn't work. Don't make it a PDF. Don't save it as a PDF. That doesn't work. It has to be a Microsoft Word document. Otherwise, as I've done in the past, you'll receive a 0. So just make sure you save it in the right format. There are some plagiarism checkers and things like that do not check in those formats, and so that's why I require it to be in Microsoft Word. Speaking of plagiarism, there are significant consequences for plagiarizing. There has been a steep rise in the use of ChatGPT and AI. I will just take this time to give you your sole warning. Do not use AI to write your papers. It is not that hard to detect. There are a ton of AI detection softwares out there. I use them. I use more than one. If you use AI to write your paper, most likely you'll be getting a 0 for the class and an academic discipline report to the dean's office. for future discipline. So this is it. This is the hopefully the one time we talk about it. I wish I didn't write as many academic discipline reports as I did last semester, but I will tell you I wrote many. So please do not continue that trend. Moving on to, let's go to PowerPoints. So PowerPoints, you'll be given a minimum slide count. In the prompt, you'll be given a prompt to write about. And for instance, it'll say, give me 4 slides of content. In those slides, do not put your entire content. Your slides are meant for you to be creative. Bullet points and some sort of graphics in your slide. Again, just like the papers, the title slide and the reference slide do not count as content. So you would have in that scenario, there'd be 6 slides, 4 of content and a title and a reference. Where you will put the bulk of your content will be in the notes function of the PowerPoint. If you're not familiar with the notes function, quick Google search or YouTube search will give you an idea. So I will usually say, give me 50 or 100 words in the notes section, and that's where you would put the equivalent of if you were giving a PowerPoint presentation in front of the class. You're just writing your material in that notes section. Don't write 100 words in the slide. Again, the slide is just for bullet points and just for creativity. Bullet points and some graphics. The bulk that goes in the notes function. Those have to be submitted in PowerPoint format. Do not submit your PowerPoints in PDF. You'll get a 0. Just be careful how you are saving those. I know you can accidentally save them in PDF form, so just be careful. If you do submit in a PDF form on accident, just resubmit it in PowerPoint. You always have the option of resubmitting. Let's see, we touched on papers, we touched on PowerPoints. Let's go to videos. Videos, you'll be given a prompt again, and you will be speaking to your camera just like this, except I will be the only one viewing it. It won't be in front of the class. You will giving me, try that again. You will be giving me a lecture on the prompt. Now, a lecture is just that. It's a lecture. It is you speaking to the camera about the material. You may have notes that you need to reference. I mean, I'm looking at notes right now every once in a while, just trying to make sure that I cover every point that I want to cover. But I will tell you, I don't look like this when I'm giving this video. I don't say midterms and finals must be completed in class, no PDF, must be Word or PowerPoint. That's reading. Don't read your lecture. Make a video, prepare for your video, practice if you need to, and then record it. You can even edit it if you want. I'll probably edit this video. There's some ums and ahs that I want to take out of it. A couple seconds ago, I stumbled over my words. I might take that out. I don't know. We'll see. But make sure that it is a video of you speaking to the camera and not reading the camera. As I've said before, as I want to say, this is not story time. Don't read to me. That is the bulk of the 3 assignments. What else do we have? Your attendance is taken by your submitted assignments. So you are marked here if you submit your assignments. Again, I talked about late grades. There are no plus or minus grades, just A's, B's, and C's. No A minuses or A pluses or B minuses or B pluses. Let's see, my office hours are virtual since we're here on a summer break. So just contact me via email. If my email is in the syllabus, I'm not that hard to find. You might be traveling. I might be traveling. Give me about a day to answer that. I answer them usually during business hours. So if you email me on Saturday night, I'm probably not going to answer you. I'll answer you on Monday morning. Again, Saturday nights and Sunday nights seem to be when all these amazing computer crashes and emergencies seem to happen. Try to avoid those by starting our assignments early. But that is about everything. As I spoke a second ago, let me just check my notes, see if there's anything that I missed. I'm almost positive I missed an introduction. If I did, then how about this? My name is Dr. Stephen Bell. Thanks for watching this video. Well, if you made it to the end, I hope you did. Then now you know my name. But I probably should have done that a little bit earlier. There's an introduction about me on the landing page of D2L. A little bit more about me if you want to hear about my background. You can read that in the content section. The other thing we didn't touch on was the textbook. this is the textbook. It is not an e-textbook. It is a hard textbook. This is the one we will be using. Let me just minimize my notes so I can make sure this is actually on the camera. There we go. How about this? This is our textbook. It should look just like this. Again, not an ebook, so you should be able to have a hard copy of that. If you have any challenges getting a copy, please let me know. Again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. There's a follow-up video or a second video that will actually be talking about the weekly content. So these will be two separate videos. But again, I look forward to having you all in class. And please don't hesitate to reach out to me with any questions or challenges that you're experiencing. And we will kick things off here with our discussion board post, which is due in the first week. I think it's gonna be an easier one than usual, so we'll kind of start things off slow, and I'll touch on that a little bit more in the content video, the week 1 content video. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.